Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. If you're there, say amen.
Amen.
You need more time, say amen. All right. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. I want to preach to you this afternoon, enough. Just a simple title, enough. I want to get through that all. Let's pray. Lord, I thank you so much for everything you've done, Lord. I thank you for the testimonies. I thank you for the extra prayers, God. I thank you for the worship in the Sunday school. God, I feel you laid a message on my heart, Lord. I need you to deliver it. Let it be your words. Let it be your inspiration. Let it be the Holy Ghost that speaks, God. Let us receive it, Lord, so that we can be better and receive what you would have us receive, Lord, because you know best and you have our best interests in your heart. Bless this service. Bless this message, Lord. In your holy name we pray. Amen. You may be seated. I'm really not going to talk about the armor. I had to do the base of the armor, so we're talking about that last part, having done all to stand. That's a tough verse to explain. On face value, it's easy. Okay, have done all to stand. How do you know that you've done all? Let's be honest with you. I'm going to be honest, I struggle with it. Y'all know that I have a guilt complex, and I often feel guilty for things I shouldn't feel guilty for, and I'm aware of that. So the guilt complex in me meets my awareness, and it makes me wonder, am I being too hard on myself? Have I done all? Am I asking too much of myself? Or am I right? Is my instinct right, and there's something that I'm not doing? Can you see the problem now with the idea, the concept of having done all? The Amplified Version says, therefore, put on God's complete armor, that you may be able to resist and stand your ground on an evil day of danger, and having done all the crisis demands, to stand firmly in your place. Having done all the crisis demands. And still, it's hard to describe what that crisis. Laughing at how poor that shows up. It's hard to define enough. The definition of enough is defined as much or as many required. Sometimes it's obvious when you reach enough, sometimes it's not. There are different ideas of what is enough money. Some people want just enough money to get by, and some people want enough money to be able to look at the gas pump and look off the window. There's different ideas of enough money. There are different ideas of enough time off. I do not believe in 100% attendance of anything. I believe in balance. Okay? I really do. I took the job, one of the benefits of my job was the 16 hours of vacation a month. But me and the director have different ideas of what enough time off is. She don't like taking any time off and doesn't want us to take any time off. We have different ideas of what is enough. not going to leave, it's still with you. That is the hardest thing about what begins to love, is knowing it wasn't enough. But that's the concept we're dealing with here, having done all, stand. Can you say that you love your kids enough? Can you say that you love your spouse enough? If you were to make it to heaven or earth based on how much you love, would you go to the eternity in heaven or eternity in hell? Now the concept of love is really getting serious. And it's hard. I'm just trying to give you an idea of where my heart's going. I'm burdened by the idea of enough. Work. Whether you've got enough work to do, or maybe have you completed enough work to take off. When is the job actually finished? We all strive for enough, but we cannot define enough. That is a paradox in our mind, and it can leave us feeling very unfulfilled. How can we obtain something that we can't explain? But there's this desire in our hearts to constantly fill that void that we cannot put a label on. There's a frustration there. And it can overwhelm you to where you just want to give up, or it can nag at you to where it constantly motivates you. But that's to each their own, different people respond in different ways. What can stop us from achieving enough, besides that lack of definition? Distractions can stop you from achieving enough. Think about all the things going back to the children, all the things you wanted to do before they graduated and you never got to it. I'm not here to give you a guilt trip over that. I'm here just trying to tell you how distractions come and they go. Something else took your time. Something else got in the way. Maybe it's a lack of ambition. You're fine rolling through the course, just going through the motions, and you have no desire to do well, that we talked about in the Sunday school lesson. That will keep you from achieving enough. Sometimes pain, and not necessarily the pain itself, it's our reaction to pain that stops us from achieving enough. No sane person enjoys pain. There is a category of people called as Satanists, and they like pain. They are insane. I understand those who would take their wedding vows or glutton for punishment, but it does not mean you are insane. It just means some things are worth the pain. You're worth the pain, baby. I did make it from a fever when you took to us. God said to Mary. I'm reading a book called Leadership Pain, and he makes some interesting points in the prelogue that I wanted to share today. The quote, you can't see it, Charles Kingsley said, "Pain is no evil unless it conquers us." But how often do we treat pain as if it's this evil aspect of life? Oh, I don't want to go through pain. Oh, I don't want to go through that. But we need to think about what it's saying. Thank you, Brandon.
You want me to go back to the pain of evil?
No, that's all right. I read it. If you understand, if you nod your head that pain is no evil unless it conquers us, then why would we so actively avoid pain? Pain is not the enemy. You know what is the enemy? Our inability or refusal to face pain. That will keep you from achieving enough. Your refusal to go through hard times, your refusal to go through pain and suffering will be detrimental that knows how to make his own decisions. If your kid falls and you run to the rescue, I am shaking my head and shaming you. Let that kid straight there and do. It'll teach them not to run on rocks. I'm going to let me put her opinion on the right side. She did. She told him one. And that's it. And then when I shot myself hurt her, it's more than a woman. But see, that pain taught me something. That pain taught me, okay. The kid learns to burn your fingers on the stove. And I'm not encouraging child abuse or neglect. I'm just telling you that the pain has a function. But if we never go through pain, what can we learn? What can we truly achieve? I promise you won't achieve success, because success comes at great pain. Marriage is a great, in all seriousness, marriage causes pain. But you have to plow through it because it is worth it. I talked about pain, I may talk about it last week, about surrender. There's a football player, an NFL player, was quoted as saying that playing in the NFL is like going through a car wreck every day. Referring to his practices and how hard they hit each other when they have to go through. And someone asked, why do you do it? He said, because that pain is what's required to be on the field. If I'm not willing to suffer through the pain of practice, I'll never get my game. You may think that's stupid because it's football, but it's a good metaphor for life. You'll never get your game day in life if you're not willing to go through the pain. If you're not willing to go through the pain, you'll never be enough. You'll never achieve enough. You'll never receive enough. I'm asking you today, what are you avoiding today? Jesus never got to say, it is finished, until after he faced the pain of the nails and the crucifixion. He didn't want to go to the cross. He even asked if he could not. But he had to. The pain was unavoidable. What are you avoiding today? What are you trying to sidestep? I would live for God, but my family wouldn't accept it, and I don't want to go through that pain. I would quit this addiction, but I don't want to go through the withdrawals and the pain of not having it. What's holding you back today? I got news for you, you addicts. That's the downside of your body being addicted. You're going to go through the withdrawal. God can deliver that from you. I've known God to do it, but I've also known God to let others go through it. We talked earlier about God when he was blessed. Everyone has their own demons. You cannot avoid living for God just because it's going to be painful. You'll never be enough. You'll never have enough God at a distance. Letting go of your bad influence, it hurts. Changing your mindset hurts. Admitting you're wrong, it hurts. Admitting that it's your fault, it hurts. But God is not here to play patty cake with you. Things don't have to go your way. When was the last time that you said in your heart, yes, Lord? One of my most precious jail memories was in the Escambia County Jail in Pensacola, Florida. Praying for everybody one-on-one, and there was this one guy with no feet. He looked beat, 100-year-old, had his hands in the air, and the only thing he kept saying was, yes, Lord. No matter what the prayer was, no matter what the song was, yes, Lord. And it ministered to me. And I want to know when's the last time that you said, yes, Lord. Not, please, God, do this. Not, Lord, can you move this way. Not, God, can you have this way. But just threw your hands up and say, yes, Lord. Without pain, we don't know when to stop. We don't know when to turn around. There's another factor of enough that plagues churches today. Do you remember the story of Korah? Anyone? Numbers 16 and 1. Now Korah, the son of Esau, the sons of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the sons of Pheleth, sons of Reuben, took men. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. They were asking why did Moses think himself to be the leader. Oh, that happens. I remember when Brother Aldridge, very first time he that sounds awkward. When he went to Kentucky, it wasn't his first time going to Kentucky. It's a long story. But the very first time, there was a member of the congregation who's no longer there now. She said, why do we need a pastor? We've got 3 preachers here. Make turns preaching. That is a very ignorant saint. You need a pastor. You need someone that can speak into your life and correct you. If that's not me, go somewhere else. Because it's required. You have to have a pastor. These men didn't think they needed their pastor. First it was Korah, and he mumbled and complained, and he got a following. And now they had the nerve to tell Moses. In verse 4, when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he has chosen will he cause to come near unto him. See, it wasn't enough for Korah to be one of the leaders of the church. It wasn't enough for Korah to be used in the Exodus, in the new start of the new story. No. That wasn't enough. He wanted more. He wanted it his way. He wanted to be elevated. He didn't like having someone to make decisions he didn't agree with. He didn't like it. He wanted more. What God gave him was not enough. And he needed more. He wanted it on his terms. But what exactly was not enough? What exactly, what was he rejecting? It was not Moses he was rejecting. The Bible says that when you reject the man of God, you are rejecting God. God was not enough for Korah no more. He got so used to the blessings of God. He got so used to living for God that he forgot to respect God. God was no longer enough. I ask you this morning, is God enough for you? Before you mouth off yes, let's do a soul search real quick. Do you live like God is enough? Do you behave like God is enough? Are you thankful like God is enough? Do you praise like God is enough? Do you worship like God is enough? Do you work in this church like God is enough? Are you reaching out and trying to bring folks? Are you teaching Bible studies? If you're not teaching Bible studies, God is not enough. That means you're not doing it anyway, but someone else is doing it. You need to have enough country design. I'm going to teach somebody a Bible study. But if I don't know how, come with me. You should have learned. The children, you got time to learn. But if you're 30 or above, guess what? You had time to learn how to do a Bible study. But you didn't love God enough to get confidence in your word, and now you're not serving the church. Is that all right this morning? I'm telling you, you got to be enough. Having done all to stand. Why aren't your neighbors coming to church? Because you're only praying for them to come to church. Brother Aldridge convicted me one day. I was in charge of the sign for years. sign and you pull in. And he said, you're wanting that sign to do your job. You're exactly right. That's what I was wanting. I was trying to put something up that would prick their hearts so they could come in. And I'm not preaching it's a sign, but that does not replace our testimony. Right? Korah was no longer impressed with doing his best for God. And if we're not careful, we'll do the same thing. I'm doing good enough. God knows where I'm at. God knows how I am. And we'll make excuses. But realistically, God is no longer enough for you. I asked again, when was the last time you said, yes, Lord? So what happened to Korah? They had a prayer meeting the next day. They took censers and fire and incense to it. And Korah and the friends that he convinced to his side were swallowed up in an earthquake. He thought he was holy enough to challenge his pastor, and God showed him something. Do not underestimate how God looks at how you're handling your life. God does not wink at your mistakes. Make sure you have enough of what you need to have enough of. You better have enough conviction in your life. You better have enough Holy Ghost in your life. Because if you're not, then you're going to make mistakes. There's a telling sign here. I referenced it just now. Got ahead of myself. But if Korah had paid attention to this one sign, it would have saved his life. And 249 others. His complaints weren't valid. Moses said, I've done nothing to these people. I've done nothing to deserve this. So Korah had no just cause in attacking his pastor. Why would Korah go through with it? Because Korah no longer listened to conviction. I mentioned earlier about folks that has come here and not respond, came and ignored God's warning. It's a sad day when you no longer listen to the conviction in your heart. First of all, it's not enough to just feel convicted. It's not enough to say I shouldn't be doing this. You have to respond to that conviction and correct yourself. But if you no longer feel convicted, then God is no longer enough for you. If you no longer feel pricked in your heart about the things you do, if there's no longer any shame or regret or remorse for the mistakes you made, then you've lost your love of God. And He's no longer enough. When talking about Moses, you have to address the promised land. Specifically, you need to talk about those who did cross the Jordan and those who did not. An entire generation failed to cross the river. An entire generation just refused to accept God on His terms. They cursed God and they complained and complained and complained. So much so that God took it personal and made them walk around until they all died. What was meant for you will not be for you. That is the story of heaven. What was created, Jesus went to prepare a place for you. There's a room with your name on it. But guess what? You may not make it. Because of the way you're living right now. Moses didn't make it either. That's sad. He allowed his frustrations to sway his actions. He spoke that rock twice. He yelled at it, spoke to it. He made mistakes, and God could not let him cross. Like Cain, his bad attitude was his downfall. If God had been enough, He would not have acted in it. Think about that next time you mouth off to someone. That was enough. Whether you avoided pain or got distracted, would you be able to cross the road? Has God been enough for you? Do you still respond to conviction? One last verse, Galatians 5:4. I need us to understand what Paul's saying. Christ has become of no effect to you, whosoever of you are justified by the law. Those who just don't embrace the New Testament, those who want to go back to the familiar, those who want to go back to what they know, those who want to go back to what mom and dad taught them, what grandma and grandpa taught them, they want to go back to that. Here's what he calls them. Ye are fallen from grace. I have no idea why people say you cannot fall from grace when it's right there in the Bible saying you can. We need to examine our lives. There's a song, contemporary Christian song, that most of y'all don't know that was heard in my car. And he says, Jesus, please keep saving me. We need to have a desire in our heart. If you think you said a prayer 10 years ago and you're good, that's not enough. The Bible says to run with patience the race that's set before you. The Bible says that he who believes and is baptized are saved, but he who believes not is damned. Examine your heart and ask, is God enough? Do you live like God is enough? Bow our heads. I don't know who's going through what today. My heart was filled with regret for things I didn't do when my kids were younger. I cannot go back and change any of it. There are things I allowed that I wish I hadn't, but I did, and I can't change it. So now we've got to roll with it. But now there's an opportunity. Whatever you are regretting, whatever mistakes you have made, this is your chance